What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Palantir. I want to give you an overview of some of the data points, break it down what's really moving it today, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Palantir is up 3.98%. Pretty epic day, as well as the broader market. And in Palantir's case, there's two things that's really driving it higher. One of which is data first thing, and that was PPI. So PPI came out better than anticipated. So of course, a lot of people are taking this as a good indicator of maybe good data coming out tomorrow, which is a CPI. So in general, I think that's definitely a good thing because a lot of that is going to be correlated to interest rates and more specifically cuts for the September 18th meeting. So there is right now a 53.5% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. So in general, that is very good. Aside from that, another partnership or I guess agreement with Palantir was announced today, and that's with Palantir Technologies LLC. So Palantir's been absolutely a beast. Absolute beast on all these partnerships. I think August the 8th, that one was key. But still, aside from that though, Palantir seems to be, in my opinion, unstoppable. And this latest analysis that came out today kind of says the exact same thing, just the one point that they're mentioning as the number one risk is this. So that said, Palantir's major risk continues to be its valuation. So I completely agree. And you can kind of tell that based on a lot of the analyst ratings. So what I'll do is I'll quickly pop over to 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. I was actually just generally looking at a lot of the articles that's coming out. Everyone and their dog is talking about Palantir, and rightfully so. But like I mentioned, analyst ratings, I think this is a very good representation of what that analysis is kind of meaning, is that it's all over the place. You have some analysts all reading the same earnings, some seeing $9, some seeing 16 as very viable, and then others you see a 38. So it's all over the place. As a consensus though, $24.18 is anticipated. And that does represent a 21% downside. So you don't see all too many stocks that kind of fit this criteria where the consensus from analysts, which again is usually 1 year out, that's what a lot of these ratings are encumbering. A lot of this, like you don't see negative growth. So this is 100% accurate that the valuation is the only risk for Palantir, because this is why in the past when you've had negative ratings coming out, it really does kind of affect the stock price. Luckily enough, there's been Daniel Ives. He's been kind of the face of Palantir, if that makes sense, coming from an analyst standpoint. He does have a 51% success rating, so not necessarily the best, but he is very, very bullish on Palantir. So once again, definitely Palantir is a beast. Just I do agree with this, that the only risk is just the valuation. As of right now though, looking at some of the data points, you do see shorts currently returning 603,000 shares. This is why I like to analyze this information, because by shorts returning, it kind of does validate today's green day. So that's definitely a positive thing, but 3.25% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 62.91 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 0.71, and then utilization 1.76. So just for transparency, Palantir is not a squeeze play by any means. I'm just bringing this up more so for analysis purposes rather than anything. And then looking right here at options, $18 million so far in calls, 2.82 million in puts. So tons of money is getting into Palantir through options. 52% of all the options being done so far today are optimistic and bullish. And as I've brought up in the past, the options are signaling for Palantir to kind of be in excess of roughly around $33 by even this week. And I think a lot of that is based on CPI that's coming out tomorrow. You have initial jobless claims as well as retail sales coming out on Thursday. So a lot of that could definitely move the market, but you do see even some optimism around $35 by even this week, next week. So yeah, a lot of people are anticipating more of a continuation of this run. And when it comes to CPI, that could be that X catalyst to really propel a lot of growth stocks such as Palantir higher. And these are all the transactions as well that is occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you do see a lot of institutions paying attention to it. and majority are buys. You do see some selling, but still majority based on everything is a buy, and you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So all in all, pretty good stuff. Right now though, with it at $30.77, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So $30.69 is going to be that next strong support. So if Palantir is able to close above that R1 and CPI is good, then this is where you could easily see most likely it trading between this R2 and this R3. So definitely good stuff. And this is probably why at the same time shorts are returning some shares, because they anticipate that bump up in the stock price. So the next strong resistance / target right now for Palantir is sitting at $32.85. So Palantir's technicals are looking fairly good. Options activity, very, very bullish, as well as shorts returning is very bullish. So kind of hits all the marks that I like to look at generally. So Palantir, there is still a lot more upside to come, assuming the data comes out kind of in line with expectations and everything else. So let me know your thoughts on Palantir. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Based on this, it does show that retail has definitely been buying the dip, very much so. So are you that some of those individuals, or have you been selling? What have you been doing? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.